right now, class is in session. You want to learn how I was able to grow 100,000 followers on Instagram? Watch this video. I just hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. Please hold your applause. I think I'm qualified to give a tip or two. So here's my story. I started a brand new Instagram over a year ago. I had an Instagram that I was trying to grow for years. I could not get past 3,000 followers no matter what I tried to do. I was trying to post reels when they came out. I was trying to post pictures. I was hashtagging. I was doing follow for follow. I was doing everything in the book, everything you've ever heard any guru ever say. And for some reason, I could not hack that algorithm. So you know what? I was like, screw this. I'm going to start a new Instagram. And I guess what really prompted me to start a new Instagram was that I felt like a lot of people that were following from my old Instagram were people from middle school, high school, people I met at parties, like just random people who honestly weren't interested in what I was saying. And that's okay. I want you guys to know that. And that's okay. So, no. And that's okay. Because not everyone is going to care about what you have to say when it comes to fashion or whatever topic that you're talking about. Not everybody cares about my outfits. I don't take offense to that. Never everyone is passionate about fashion. I decided to start an entirely new account all about fashion. And I just wanted to post and see what would happen because something in my spirit told me, I don't think that I'm the problem. And maybe that's just because I'm extra delulu, and maybe that's because I have a godlike amount of confidence. But I knew that it was more than likely the audience I was posting for rather than the content itself. The content itself wasn't that great too, but that's a whole nother story for another day. I didn't know what I was going to post, but I was like, you know what? Here's a great start. I have so many TikToks that I've been posting. I have so many reels, all of these different videos, and they're not performing well. I have a hunch that if I did it on an entirely new account, that they might perform well because I'd be able to start my audience from scratch and they would be highly engaged because they were only interested in fashion. So I did just that. I reposted my TikToks over and over again. I was posting at least once a day, sometimes 3 times a day, because I was literally just reposting videos. So I figured, what harm could it do? I might as well just try it out. I've got nothing to lose. I only had 3,000 followers over there who were going up and down by the day, and they weren't really very engaged. So I'm like, balls to the wall. Let's just hope it sticks. So I did just that. Within a month, I grew 10,000 followers. I was shocked. I literally remember being at work, watching my followers grow in real time. And I was like, oh my God, this is happening. This is happening. Videos that I could not crack 1,000 views on were getting 10,000 views, 9,000 views, 16,000 views. And then I had a video hit 1 million views. Now, keep in mind at this time, I don't want you guys to hear this story and think, so she's another one of those people who blew up overnight. On the contrary, I have been trying to grow somewhat of a following on Instagram for years. Before it was this page, it was my old page that I had since I was a child. I am 23 years old right now. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that at least since I was 17, I have been trying to grow on some form of social media. But I will say consistency also played a big part in that. So once I was being consistent on my brand new Instagram, posting every single day, realizing that my audience from my old high school Instagram was holding me back, the growth started to come like that. So it wasn't instantaneous. It was only instantaneous when I started that new account years into a process of learning and growing and understanding how to make content and attract your audience. So I did just that. It was at 10,000 followers. I started growing an audience. I was getting views. I'm like, oh my God, this is really great. The next coming months, 20,000 followers, 25,000 followers. I'm like, this is a great amount of growth. I'm going to grow like this forever. Or so I thought. And then I got scared because I was like, oh my God, is everyone going to expect me to grow this many followers every single month? And this is when the mindset started to change. And this is when I started psyching myself out. And that's where I messed up. Because then I started getting scared. I'm like, oh my God, the numbers. Now I'm an influencer. People expect this. People expect this. I was getting in my head. And that's when my growth started to slow down. I remember hitting 30,000 followers not that long ago. So this entire process this is all taking place within a year and a half. That's like the duration of this entire story. Then I was at 30,000 followers. And I could not seem to really get past 30,000 followers. I had some slow months where I just was not growing. And then again, I had another surge towards the end of the year. We're now in November of 2023. And now I'm at 33,000 followers. 34, 35. By the time it's like January, it's like, okay, I have 37,000 followers, and I'm like, okay, that's not a bad number. I was being really slow at 30,000, so now I'm seeing some growth. It's okay if it's incremental. This is what I'm telling myself, and this is when my mindset started to shift, and that's when I'm like, okay, I don't need to rush. It's not that serious. It's not a race to get to 1 million followers, 100,000 followers, whatever it is. And that's when I made the switch. Fast forward, I've quit my job now. It's January 2024. I'm posting, I'm getting some things together, I'm making some reels. I work with this woman, shout out to Erin, and she basically is helping me come up with a content strategy, to which she says, why don't you think about starting more series? And I'm like, it's so funny you say that. I've been wanting to do that. So then I decide, okay, I'm going to start a series. I'm like, okay, but what kind of series should I start? She says, you should try something educational. So I'm like, educational? Girl, I'm not in finance. I'm in fashion. What does she want me to teach people how to sew? I don't know how to do that. I just know how to put it on. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that. I'm racking my brain. I'm thinking about it. I'm sitting on it for a day or two. I come back to her. I say, hey, Erin, what if I do an educational video where I teach people the difference between different prints? Now, I don't know everything, but I've noticed that when I talk to people about a print called houndstooth, they don't know what that means. She's like, that's a great point. Maybe you should do something like that because I don't know the difference either. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad that you said that. That validated me. So I come up with a concept. She hasn't even seen the video yet. She's just like, that sounds like a cool concept. I come up with a concept. The energy is flowing. I'm like, okay, let's just create it and see what comes out. So I create a video where I'm wearing a houndstooth print skirt, and I'm like, what is this print called? I keep it fun. I do some dynamic editing. I'm literally just having fun in the process. Key word, I'm having fun, which is always when the growth happens, whenever you are creating from a fun, authentic place. I did just that. I wake up, the video's at like 20,000. What was the video at? It was at like 20,000 views or something like that. I don't know. It had been 24 to 48 hours since I had posted the video. And my following had grew to 47,000 followers, 10,000 followers overnight. And I remember being like, holy, this is insane. Okay, I'm so grateful. And in my mind, I'm not thinking it's going to continue growing. I take it for what it is. I'm grateful. Another key feeling to have that helps you manifest more and more. At this point, I've had fun. I'm grateful. I'm fulfilled. I'm like, okay, cool. That video is going to sit, let's say 30,000, maybe max 100,000 views. I'm like, this is cool. I'm happy. That means I'm going to keep creating it. Honestly, even if nobody ever watched it, because even when I made it, I didn't expect anyone to engage with it. I remember specifically thinking, this video is so fun for me to make and everything, but I know nobody's going to see this. And I don't care if they do, because it was fun for me to create. So I did just that. I created it. I posted it. 10,000 followers overnight. I'm like, okay, it's happening. I'm talking to Erin. I'm like, do you see this? Do you see what's going on? She's like, yeah, this is really cool. Throughout the day, I'm sensing a lot of notifications coming in. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. 60,000 followers. 70,000 followers. I wake up the next morning. I'm at over 80,000 followers. I'm like, okay, things are happening fast. Like, I set a goal to reach 100,000 followers by the end of the year. It is February. It's the second month of the year. So we're doing well. I'm like, okay, I have months to get that other 20,000. I can do that. It keeps going. It's at 100,000. I'm like, oh my God, it's happened. I waited for this moment so long. And do you know what the funny thing is? I thought that when I hit that number, I would feel worlds different than I did at 30,000 followers or 10,000 followers. But the funny thing is, you literally feel the same. And that's not to say that I'm not incredibly grateful, because Thankfully, I am someone who's truly doing something I am passionate about, and I love engaging with you guys. But I guess I thought it would be like an extra little. And the funny thing that I realize is it's only as fulfilling as you make it. You know, it only is as rewarding as you make it. If you only reward yourself in metrics, this is going to be a vicious cycle and you will never be happy enough because you'll reach 100,000 followers and you'll go, now I have to hit 200. You'll reach 200 and you'll go, now I need 500,000. You'll get 1,000,000 and you'll think everyone has 1,000,000. Slippery slope. You understand what I'm saying? So it really just happened because I was creating from a place of fun, no expectations, creativity, and just seeing what happens. I just want to say, I am so thankful. If you follow me on Instagram or if you've engaged with me on here or any platform for that matter, I am so grateful. And I do not one day out of my life ever take this for granted. This is truly what I am passionate about doing. I am so excited to see the growth that I am going to be able to have within the next year, within the next coming months. And it's really just validating because I literally quit my full-time job, my main source of income, a month ago. Like, it just goes to show that time has nothing on alignment. You can manifest something in a matter of seconds if your mindset is in the right space. So, you guys, let me know if you have any questions. If you want me to do an in-depth, like step-by-step strategy video on how you can grow 100,000 followers on Instagram too, and I'd be more than happy to do that. As always, I am so thankful for my community. Bye.